wanted to do it in our vision. Oh, hold on. The AI just gave me a prompt that is being recorded. All right. So so just like our 80s commanders, we did this back in the day as our springboard into the industry, into the community, right? So we did the 80s commanders in the way we envision the 80s commanders should look like, but we got feedback from the community that they wanted more cartoon looking figures. That's why we went to do the 3-pack, which we revised the colors to make them more vibrant, revise the head sculpts, because what we put out before, again with a third party in mind, we didn't sculpt the faces exactly to what they were looking like in the cartoon. So a lot of stuff that perhaps many people don't understand. Mostly people complain they don't look like anything like the Centurions. That's the wrong color, it's the wrong face. But it's all done for a reason, actually. And it's our first project. So we took into consideration what the community wanted, and then we released the second version, which was what people wanted. So same thing here for the gull wing. We did a first run because that was the vision that we had. You know, everything has to be done in this way, and we did the run. Of course, we had no idea that there was so much demand after that, because we gave collectors ample time to actually partake in the early bird. And then after that ended, there were still orders coming in. So we consolidated all the orders, and then we made one production run. And then after that, when the gull wing is finally in the market, there's a lot more demand for it. So what do? And again, we don't reissue stuff. We don't reissue stuff because we want to keep the value of the items. We want to make sure that the people who put their money down earliest to support the project keeps their value, versus why should I put money down early when you're going to be doing it later down the road anyways, right? So this is definitely a consideration and an important factor in terms of how the business is run, the model, etc., etc. So this second run had to be different, right? So by it being different also does not mean that it severely degrades from the original, because we also have in mind to always want to do better. So what we did was that we went back into the tooling to polish up the tooling, and then, you know, again, I've not shown it yet, but once we show this in a few weeks, you will see that the new body will have a better sheen to it, and that differentiates it from the original. Also, at the same time, we understand that there is a deco differential between what you see in the cartoon and what you see in the toy, the Kenner toy. So the Kenner toy had the lightning sticker and the grid lines, but not in the cartoon. So we decided to offer a sticker sheet instead. Now, the sticker sheet is going to be of high quality, so not to worry that it's some, you know, flimsy paper sticker that tears off. No, it's going to be a high quality vinyl sticker. Obviously, some would feel that the tempo printing is still the most the highest of quality, and then the sticker is a step below. But you know, we have to make the sticker option so that you can choose between applying it this way or that way. If it was printed, then you can't really do anything at all. It's set in stone, so to speak. So the whole idea is that in the second version, you know, you have a playability in terms of the stickers. You can add, it will definitely look different because we're going to put more stuff that is not that was lacking in the first gull wing, because the first gull wing was trying to look more like a, you know, accurate in a sense. And then on the second one, you will see certain stickers on the top that sort of simulates the glass rooftop, etc. And you know, we heard the collectors who wants the chrome plated wingtips, and then we're applying that onto this version. Now, the reason why we did not make a change and do that on the first version is because we advertise it as that, you know. So to make a sudden switch would actually be not good for people who actually saw what it was and then it had no chrome. And why are we adding chrome at the end? So it is to keep in line with what we've advertised, to keep it as real as possible. And then in this round, we're able to offer the chrome. And then we're going to also package it in the old style Kenner way. So there's no window box. You open it, you're gonna get a corrugated cardboard that holds the vehicle. So the whole feeling of it will be very like nostalgic.
Okay. With that would all oh, 1, 2, 3. That will also come with the driver.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. Sticking with the Galwing, the shark. How long will it take for that one? You said it took a while for it to make because of the I guess the designs of it because it wasn't done before.
Yes. So we actually went into almost like 5 versions. We did a first one, a second one, and then the fifth one because we wanted to get it as close as possible to the way it transforms. And then finally we, sort of like come in between, whether the fins is the most important aspect, and then it's just impossible for the fins to be that big if it's going to be spring loaded. So either it's going to be totally a magnet parts former, so to speak, or we're going to do it half and half. So half of it pops out from the body, the other
Mhm.
half attaches as a separate part. So that was a compromise to achieve the look.
All right. And that also comes with female driver, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely. Porsche white.
All right. Moving on to the 80s commanders. On the site right now, you have Max Ray, you have the Apache Commander, and you have the Fathom fan. Any
Mm-hmm.
any thoughts about doing any other commanders?
Yes, we actually are going to do the Air Force and Armor Commander again in the retro packaging style, exactly as you saw it with the antagonist cyborg and the land drone. So this also gives collectors a chance to own the 80s commanders again, but not a reissue.
Mhm.
So this is all going to be new configurations. We improve the shoulder pads, the way it's being connected. We improve certain aesthetics to certain parts of the figure. So you only get to see the difference when there's a review of it on YouTube or something. But we did specify what the differences were. And again, every new iteration will be different. It will not be exactly a reissue as we always promise. So we just did not have the bandwidth resources to upload those 2 other characters on the website yet, but they are in the plans for a concurrent production. So it could be just a case of us, by the time we list it up on sale, it's already in stock, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Because we don't anticipate the numbers to be too big. So we're just gonna estimate a production number that is enough to meet the MOQ. And then we just go ahead and do it along with Apache Commander. So there's gonna be 4 commanders being done at the same time concurrently, and then once we have the resources to list up those 2 other figures, it will be on our website. You can order it, and it'll all be shipping in December.
Oh, okay. Any thoughts about doing the dog for what's his name?
The antagonist scientist,
Yeah.
yeah, we are actually sculpting that right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to the ramen racer. We have one in orange, one in black. You had 1,657 pre-orders.
Mhm.
Uh, with this one, are you gonna reissue another set if or that's just this for the ramen racer?
So the ramen racer will be made to order, right? So we will consolidate all the orders. We'll probably make a few more units over that just in case.
Mhm.
For those who want to actually wait for the product to be available before the order. But obviously by then we will probably change the price back to 250 SRP. But
Mhm.
yes, the whole idea is that the ramen racer will be also a one-time production based on orders collected. yeah, and then we will see how else we can further improve it for another release next time, maybe a different color, maybe something different in terms of the modular parts.
Okay, and you have the Aces of Aviation pre-order $49.99. What was the idea behind that one?
Well, the idea is simple, right? I am a aviation enthusiast. I am a skill modeler, and I like to make skill models of fighter aircrafts. So all things fighter aircraft, pilots are very cool to me, and I really enjoy it. So obviously, Top Gun is a movie that enthusiasts like us would enjoy. So the whole idea of aviation, Ace of Aviation, was not specifically for Top Gun. Rather, Top Gun was going to be one of the characters, because the whole line was always going to be making the different pilots from the different squadrons that had unique and interesting looking helmets that was unique only for their squadron. For example, the VF-84 Jolly Rogers, right? Skull and bones with a very bright yellow helmet. You know, you have the Wolf Pack, which is the VF-1, the first squadron of the F-14. A nice wolf is very iconic for those who are into knowing all this about aviation, and the Tomcat. You know, and it goes on, right? You have many squadrons like the Punking Dogs, the Diamondbacks, Grim Reapers. These are all going to be very interesting helmets. And the whole idea of the HGU 33 with the visor that comes down, I mean, it just makes the pilot look so cool, right? With the oxygen mask attached on. It's just a look that sells it by itself. So the whole idea was to make figures like that to also complement the existing G.I. Joe Classifieds collection, because G.I. Joe Classified is all about army stuff, you know. So put in a pilot, put in something also military related as a figure. And I'm surprised that it's not yet been done. You know, you've seen all these figures being done as 12-inch 1/6 scale, with real fabric attire. So you don on the pilot suit, but it just looks a bit it doesn't conform to the shape. So I think what we've done here really helps to identify the shape and everything. The helmet that actually has a working visor. You have the oxygen mask that's removable, attached from one side, left or right, exactly like how it looks like for the actual pilot. And we did this Ace of Aviation wanting to sell this point of generic pilots. But of course, by doing generic, why make the faces too generic? So we decided to model the faces after people who are more prominent, that's easily recognizable in our pop culture genre. So that was the whole idea behind it.
Okay. Any thoughts about doing vehicles? The Tomcat, or
Well, there is plans, and hopefully I can have more reviews for it in the next year, because we're working on something now that needs to be, I guess, still kept under the lid, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the helicopters like Airwolf or something like that? Any ideas? Do you know what Airwolf is?
Oh yeah. In fact, I just bought a Airwolf model for my recent Shizuoka trip in Tokyo, and I've seen some Airwolf projects done online. Not necessarily we're gonna do that size, 1/12 scale. It's still in flux. I don't know. I have a inclination to do it because I think it's cool, but I'm still deciding on how to do it, getting a license, the size, So yeah, it's something that is, I can tell you that is being thought about. We're trying to see how it's gonna work, but no concrete plans just yet.
Okay, let me know, because I will give you all my money for an Airwolf. I will give you all my money for an Airwolf. All right. Before we get to the one I backed, the one I loved, any plans for any other masked vehicles such as Condor, Rhino, Piranha?
Yeah, we will develop this other vehicles accordingly. We just need some time, and at the same time, we are trying to work on our own Machina unique vehicles. So everything is on a piece of draft paper. You know, we're hashing out all the ideas, and hopefully we can present it to you guys next year.
I'm just impatient. I once I saw the gull wing, my mind just raced to everything that can be made. So I apologize, but that's how I am.
Well, if Hasbro can allow us to do the license, then we'll be more than happy to do the rest of it. Because without a license, we are just, I mean, it's not nice to have all these C&Ds coming to your mailbox. Stop this, stop that. I mean, all we're trying to do is to do something that you guys want. You guys want it, right? You guys want it, but people like Hasbro, they're not giving it. So, yeah.
Okay. I saw on, I guess, on the YouTube that YouTube video you did that you made 5 special gull wings transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Is on that one.
Mm-hmm.
What was the idea behind having those 5 special ones made?
Well, the whole idea is to just, I mean, as a toy manufacturer, we can actually make like special versions, but the special versions must make sense. So my initial idea was to make a totally transparent gull wing, right? Whether it's for giveaways or whether it's for some event exclusive, that remains to be seen. But all I wanted was to do an exact transparent one. But the factory got the idea wrong, and then they injected the transparent red.
Oh, okay.
So we just made like 5 pieces because it was just a case of just them throwing in some transparent into our red color, and that created a transparent red. And then they just injected a few pieces, right? And again, in a production, it doesn't mean that whatever that you inject is going to come out exactly. So let's say 100 injections, it could be like hopefully 90% of them are usable, right? For the cases why they're not usable is because, again, it's a machine. So sometimes the machine acts up, and it might not fill all the cavities, and then you get missing cavities. You get, it's just the way a machine works. It's not always going to be 100%, right? Just like a meat slicer, right? If you slice the bacon, not every single piece is going to be exactly the same, right? In different parts of the meat, it gets thinner, it gets thicker, and then you have a different effect. So it's the same thing for the machine, right? Whether the amount of material poured in is going to be just the right amount for that pressure, for the temperature. I'm going to technicalities, but generally that's what it is. So getting back, we made some injection, but at the end of the day, only like 5 units we were able to assemble. So and of course we were not trying to make a production out of it. So the factory wasn't like going all like it was just like something that they just did on site for us. That's all. So 5 pieces. One of them will be a giveaway piece at the Mega J Retro channel. Look out for that. So the other 4 are just for our own archives. That's it.
Okay. All right. On the screen right now for our YouTube following, the most powerful stands in the universe.
Thanks.
Motu is one of my holy grails. I have a lot of the new ones, Masterverse and Origin. I really don't like Origins how it is, but I have the Filmation, the classics. What was the idea behind getting these stands available?
Well, again, I'm a Motu fan myself, and I want to do something for Motu. So the first thing that came to my mind, without a license, was to do a stand for Motu. Surely they're not going to tell you cease and desist for a stand, right? Or maybe they could, right? Who knows? Maybe they just haven't gotten to it yet, or maybe it was just too trivial for some people in the community to make a complaint, because we did not sell our Motu sculpts at PowerCon, yet we receive a cease and desist to tell us to stop selling it, and Mattel will not license it to us.
Okay.
So I would think that these are all word of mouth from people who are connected to Mattel in the community. And then, of course, these are all my surmise. Of course, they are not happy that why is this guy making Motu without a license? So I want to stop this guy. So it's kind of strange because, we're all fans, and yet there are some fans that will not allow another fan to excel. They want to stop you because you are not so-called playing by the rules, right? We have lots of love for the Motu sculpts that we showed at PowerCon. You can check online for all the reviews.
Yes.
Don't hear it from me, right? There's lots of love for it, and yet the answer is no. When we are not even yet asking them for permission, because we are supposed to be getting someone that's an agent that is trying to get us into the door with Mattel to talk about this. And I did mention to him that I will be showing off these sculpts at PowerCon, just showing them off, right? So why would showing off a sculpt be having a reaction from Mattel to get their lawyer to give us a cease and desist, to tell us to stop selling it, and that they will not license us anything? I mean, where did that come from? We did not even say anything, right? So obviously my surmise is that you have some people like whistleblowers telling Mattel a side of the story, and they're just acting accordingly. So I'm sure this should actually get a cease and desist, because it's copying the rocks, the exploding rocks, which is unique to Mattel, right? But getting back to this, the whole idea was, as fans, I wanted to do something for Motu, and then I created this idea of, the whole mint on card collection. People like to keep it mint on card, but again, as I like that too, I feel that I want to touch the figure as well. So what if I could merge the two? That you're gonna have the card, and you can have the figure as if it's still on the card, but it's actually, you can touch it. So yeah, so I brought the whole rock formation into a 3D formation. It pops out. You can insert your card behind, and as Pixel then demonstrated, you can even reverse it and then put it behind, and then you can see the artwork that was done. Every single card of the Origins figures have a nice artwork at the top of the back of the card, so that is a good idea as well, right? You can put on either side and it works. So, and then it's connecting, is able to connect so that you have your whole display if you want. Of course, it takes up some space, but the whole idea is to just display your figures in a more majestic form, and that's the idea behind it.
Who's your favorite Motu figure?
To be really honest, I think it's Rock On.
Really?
Rock On, and yeah, Rock On. I was always waiting for Rock On to come out. So I actually bought the classics Rock On and Stonda set. And then I'm actually kind of happy that they announced, I think, Rock On for the next Origins coming up soon. Yeah. I always thought it was so interesting to just fold him into a rock, as a kid. Just yeah, so it's kind of nice. Of course, I like He-Man. Don't get me wrong. I love He-Man, and definitely Rock On, and back in the day, Roboto as well, because Roboto had that moving heart as you twist his waist, and yeah, so yeah.
All right. Also at PowerCon, you showed a Scone dinosaur carrier for the Motu.
Oh yeah.
Is that one just a prototype, or it's coming down the line?
Yeah, so initially there was supposed to be a third-party product. We call him Back to the Bone, but I held back on doing any further promotion because, again, I try to license it instead. So we're waiting for this agent to get us into the door with Mattel to license it. So we're still waiting. We don't know. So after the point of time, if nothing works out, then I have to just go and do what I have to do. That's it.
Okay. All right. Also, I saw on a podcast, you created a sewer diorama, and
yeah,
it was correct me if I'm wrong, if you get a certain amount, it will decrease the price. That's what I thought. What I heard.
Yeah, so that was the initial idea
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to present an alternative to what is in the market that people are complaining is too expensive.
Okay.
So I did the math based on what the the actual product was in the market, and I extrapolated the cost, and I came up with a price. And to entice people to give me the numbers, I said that if I hit above 2,000, I will reduce the price. All because, as you can see, we only sold 1,657 ramen races on our website. So we are still a very small outfit. We don't have the reach to be selling 5,000 pieces,
Yeah.
let alone, so the MOQ is 1,000, but with 1,000 we don't really make any money. And the whole idea, I mean, we're a business, right? So we don't just do this for charity. We have to make some money, and that allows us to do the next project. That is something that I am always transparent about, unless of course there's a problem with me making money, right? So the at 1,000 we don't really make much, so but we can make something at 2,000. But at the same time, as I'm making at 2,000, I can also give back to the people who are supporting by giving them a rebate, so to speak. So that's the idea.
Sounds like a plan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to my favorite portion of this interview, the Marshall. Yes, I plopped down $69.95 for the Marshall.
Thank
If
you.
anyone doesn't know who the Marshall is, please Google Bravestar. 65 episodes. It's a filmation character. He was in the same genre of Tarzan, He-Man, She-Ra, all that stuff. What was the idea of getting this?
The idea was, again, very simple, 80s nostalgia, right? Whatever that I love, I try to recreate. So Brave Star is also something that I was watching cartoons of back in the day when I came back from school. And I always thought that, why isn't any Brave Star characters? you know. So again, one of the whole idea of us being available, why we came about is we want to do things that is not being done in the market. Nobody was doing Centurions. We're wondering why, why nobody's doing Centurions. So we just did it. And nobody's doing Mask. So we just did it. And then nobody's doing Brave Star. So we are going to do it. So that's the whole idea. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah.
Okay. Also at PowerCon, you saw the I guess the sculpt of 3030
Yeah. 3-0. Yeah.
30. Um
Mm-hmm.
that one compared to the one we had when we were kids, light years ahead of it. Light years ahead. And you said the transformation is not on that one, but you're still working on
No,
transformation
no.
30.
No, we're not doing any transformation. It will solely be a figure.
Mm-hmm.
Because seriously, a transforming figure will not get you what you want. It's gonna only look good in one mode, just like Transformers, just like Robotech, right? There's the Batroid mode, the Girl mode, and the Fighter mode.
Okay.
In any toy, only one mode will look the best. The other modes would have to give way, because if you want one particular mode to look good, you have to just compromise. So transforming that horse in from a humanoid to a horse and vice versa is not going to achieve what you guys want in terms of the look and feel. So it has to be a standalone figure, and then we could make a horse version for him to ride on down the road.
Okay. Will it be articulation on the 30 or just a statue?
The horse,
Yeah,
the horse version or the humanoid version?
the humanoid voice.
Oh yeah, there's lots of articulation. Yeah,
Oh, all
yeah.
right. All right. All right. Now the Marshall is up for pre-order early bird special
Yes.
$69.95
Yeah, early bird ends end of September.
in September. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When this comes in, I'm gonna give it a review with your blessing because I will send you an email when I get it so I can review it
Sure.
because I
Thank
have
you.
the
Yeah.
because I have the old version, the one back in the 80s. I'm gonna compare it and do so on
Great.
any other projects that you want me to review or even come on and talk about. Just send me an email.
Sure.
I'm here for you.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right. We'll be
Thank
in
you.
touch.
Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. I know it's 1 p.m. in Mainland China. It's 1 a.m. in
Yep.
Netherlands.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Ace from Ramen Toys. Please support because he does a lot of good stuff. And we will see you next week.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you, Ace. I really appreciate it.
Great.
All right, my friend. I'm so serious about if anything you need me to do or anything like that, I am here to review anything that you want. I'm here to do that for you, sir, because I really appreciate what you did for the Martian.
I appreciate you for the support. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You have a good one, man.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.